Hello everyone and welcome back to Groove Gaming. It's been a while since I've come to you with a PvP video, and today we're going to be doing a rendition of the Revenant, and I'm actually super excited because I haven't really been, or at least I thought I wasn't a huge fan of Revenant until I've picked up this build. And for those of you who don't know, this build is actually in the default builds. It's the support high sustain one. I haven't tried out the high physical damage one, but you know, I'm a little bland right now, so I wanted to choose a default build. And I didn't have high expectations for the support and high sustain build, but actually, I'm really loving it. And I've been trying to play around with a couple traits, but I'm going to be showing you what I generally take in a PvP situation and what I feel comfortable with and what I found to be effective for me. And if it usually is effective for me, it can typically be effective for almost everyone because I'm slightly scrubbish in PvP. I'm getting better. It's a process, but that is a little disclaimer as to where this build comes from. It's not a meta battle build, though I think it is close or has certain renditions. I haven't checked, but it is very well designed and could compete with meta if it already isn't. Okay, so let's get into the weapons, the runes, amulets, sigils, and then our trait lines, and then the weapons and utility skills and the general playstyle, and then we will hop into some gameplay as I usually do with these videos. Oh my god, I missed making PvP videos. Okay, so we're gonna start off with the weapons. We're gonna do, okay, so the weapons we're taking, or the weapons that they have granted you, is a sword, shield, and staff. And the sigils for the sword and shield are Sigil of Air, which just is a 50% chance on critical hit to cause a lightning strike, so a little bit extra damage. Sigil of Energy, gain 25% of your endurance when you swap weapons. Nice. Sigil of Renewal. Now, there's going to be more healing sigils for the staff, because the staff is a bit more focused on healing, and it's actually really good. Sigil of Renewal. I can't talk today, I'm so sorry. Heal nearby allies on weapon swap. So it's a small radius, but it is a very good heal. Nothing mind-blowing, but it's nice. Like, every number of healing every number counts in PvP, because you just want to stay alive longer, because that means you have a higher chance of winning. And the second one is Sigil of Transference, which I actually didn't have. I was surprised. I didn't know if this was new or if it came out with Heart of Thorns, because I've never seen this one, but its outgoing healing effectiveness is increased by 10%. It's probably already been in game. It rings a bell in my mind, but I've just never seen it, and I actually had to buy it. That was something interesting that happened to me when I swapped to this build. And then our rune is Rune of Leadership, +8 to all stats, very celestial type rune, but it also grants boon duration, which is really nice. And then plus 15% boon duration when you use an elite skill, and then, or plus 15% boon duration, and then when you use an elite skill, you convert up to 2 conditions into a boon for all nearby allies. And you know what, that's pretty great, because Revenant, or at least this build of Revenant, is very focused on boons and support, as the default build describes it as. And then an amulet, Mender's Amulet. I think Mender's Amulet is really the staple for all support builds right now, because they got rid of Cleric. Mender's really is the only choice. But you can do a lot of good stuff with Mender's Amulet, so I'm not complaining. It's a fantastic amulet for support, so yeah. And now that we're done with all the weapons, sigils, runes, and amulets, we're going to jump into the specializations themselves. For this build, they decided to take, they have swapped me to Retribution, Salvation, and the Elite Spec Herald. So, Retribution, close quarters, fantastic. It just means that if someone is further away, like a ranger with a longbow, and they're at max distance shooting at you, they're going to be doing less damage to you. So it's great for long-range builds, because they won't be hurting you as much. Next one we're taking is Eye for an Eye. This means whenever you are hard CC'd, you will be taunting the target that CC'd you, but you're also going to be granting protection. At first, I was like, I don't know why anybody would take this trait, and then I remembered that taunting means they only use their auto attack. if they CC you, they could use even bigger skills and just break you down. But no, they're just forced to do their auto attack, which typically isn't too powerful. Plus that added protection, minus 33% incoming damage, always nice. This means you have a better chance of survival. And then the elite one is Versed in Stone. You have a chance when struck to use the Rite of the Great Dwarf. And the Rite of the Great Dwarf is the Dwarf Legend Elite skill, which just means you have 50% reduced damage and condition damage, though you are still susceptible to control effects. So keep that in mind when you reach 50% health, that you are not immune, but you do receive less damage and condition damage, so you gotta watch out for CCs like Dragon Hunters. I realized Dragon Hunters Longbow 5 is just absolutely annoying. I should probably go on Kroof and just try that. Okay, next we have Salvation. First one we're taking, Blinding Truths. And I love this little icon. It looks like a little dragon or a little lizard. It's adorable. I want it. Okay, I want everything cute. Okay, Blinding Truths. This skill is very, very useful, and I didn't realize how useful it is until I actually looked at it. But you will be blinding nearby foes whenever you use a healing skill. And for those of you who don't know, Salvation is connected to the Ventari legend, which I will explain a little bit more in depth, but keep it in the back of your mind that this skill is very useful. I was also considering taking Nourishing Roots, which grants regen to allies whenever they're near Ventari's tablet, but in PvP, I think the blinds, especially CC, like blinds are always so annoying, and I just thought it'd be better in a combat situation against other players to prevent them from doing damage rather than try to heal through it. And Tranquil Balance I've also considered, but I think Nourishing Roots and Tranquil Balance are more of a PvE trait. I don't think Blinding Truth would be PvE. I think Blinding Truth is very much more stronger in PvP, so that's why I've decided to settle with Blinding Truth. Next, I actually changed this one from the original one. The original one that they give you is Invoking Harmony, which means that you have increased healing for a short while whenever you swap to a legend, which I think would be really good, but I sometimes have a bit difficult of a time swapping legends. Like, sometimes I forget. So for right now, I have gone with Tranquil Benediction, which means that your healing orbs that you create with your staff auto attack will provide regen and swiftness. I mostly take it just for the regen, like a heal plus regen. The swiftness is nice if you're like killing a downed enemy and someone picks it up and they like manage to get out of combat and they actually gain a bountiful amount of speed. But the swiftness isn't too game breaking. And then eluding nullification, I'm not really worried about right now. And just touch on Invoking Harmony, I realized I hadn't really explained it. This just means that you're going to do more healing for a short duration. So that's why I've decided to take Tranquil Benediction. But you can, of course, take Invoking Harmony if you like. And then the final one that we have to take is Natural Abundance. I love. I can't even express how much I love. I think you got the picture. I love this trait. I even run it in PvE whenever I'm doing, like, say, Dragon Stand, and I want to heal everyone and, like, heal the NPCs. I will take this, and it just means that whenever you use a healing skill on Ventari's tablet, you will conjure a little fragment, a little cute fragment that allies can pick up for a decent heal. 1,528. Pretty nice. And then Herald, our elite spec. First one we're taking is Radiant Revival, which just means you're going to be reviving faster, and then you're going to gain Infused Light. And for those of you who don't know, it is similar to the Herald healing skill, which means whenever you take damage, the damage is just converted into healing. Pretty simple, but it's very, very effective, especially when you're trying to get those crucial revives. And then Bolster Fortifications. I even run this one in PvE as well. I think Bolster Fortifications is an amazing trait to take if you will be running the Ventari's tablet, because every skill on the Ventari's tablet is considered a healing skill. So you're going to be getting a lot of protection to everyone, which is, basically, to explain it, whenever you use a healing skill, you're going to be applying protection to people. Protection is a very, very strong boon. I think it's even better than regen. I'd rather reduce damage than try to heal through it. I think that's my philosophy going into a lot of healing, even in other games. And then the final we're taking is Enhanced Bulwark. When stability is applied, you gain an extra stack. Pretty nice, just so you don't get CC'd. Though, I feel like Enhanced Bulwark and Eye for an Eye kind of like cancel each other out. Though Eye for an Eye does have a long cooldown. If you have stability, you won't be getting CC, which won't trigger this trait. But that's like you don't even worry about that. Like there's gonna be times where you will be CC'd, so this trait still sees use. Just something I was thinking about. And okay, let's get into the legends and the weapons. I thought I heard something in game. Anyway, and yeah, so we're gonna start out with Ventari's Tablet because I love Ventari's Tablet. You have no idea how much I love Ventari's Tablet, and the recent changes to it have made it so much better. And I think ArenaNet had like read my mind, because that was exactly all the changes that they implemented were exactly what I was thinking. So let's get right into it. So Ventari's Tablet, it's not a normal healing skill, because if you don't know, Ventari's Tablet is something you summon, and then the rest of your utility skills are healing skills, and they each have their own purpose. And thankfully, Ventari's Tablet doesn't have a timer. It's permanently up. As long as you stay into the 1,500 tether range, it will not disappear. So basically, the first healing skill is called Ventari's Will, and you're just going to be moving the tablet, and if an ally is in the tablet will travel in a straight line, as you will see here. And if any allies are in the middle of the line, not at the end, but if they get hit in the middle while it's traveling, they will be healed for 1,200, which is a pretty nice heal. And you can do it quite frequently. It's only on a 3-second cooldown. So that's nice. I thought I changed these skills around. Anyway, so yeah, you're gonna moving around. Very simple. And to play on the trait, whenever you use a healing skill, you're gonna be dropping one of these fragments. As you can see here, I will try to do it again. You'll be dropping one of these fragments, which heal people, which is the trait, and it's just an extra layer of healing protection. Next one is Natural Harmony. I put Natural Harmony on 7 because it's the easiest one for me to hit. Natural Harmony is your big heal. It's a small radius, so you have to be in range of people, but basically you just charge it up. You don't have to. You don't have to like interrupt what you're doing. It'll automatically do it. I think all these skills will automatically do it. You don't have to like stop what you're doing. You can be attacking and still move it, which is really nice. We're going back to Natural Harmony. It's a charge up skill, and it's your largest heal of the utility healing skills, and it's only on a 2-second cooldown, but it does take a lot of energy. So the Ventari's Tablet is very tricky if you are bad at managing your energy. But overall, I haven't had too much problems with it, though I do see where it could become an issue. So that's Natural Harmony, big AoE heal, or big heal, small AoE. And then your next one is Purifying Essence, which is your Condi Cleanse. It will cleanse up to 3 conditions on 5 targets. Has a very cool spell effect, like these leaves. And whenever you remove a condition, you will heal them. So it's not like heal them and remove a condition. It's remove a condition, and if you removed a condition, then you'll heal them. And I found against Necromancers, this skill is something you want to be spamming, really. If you ever have a Condi Necromancer that you're fighting, this will save your life. Just continually spam this, and you will remove all their conditions, which will render them useless, and be giving yourself a decent heal. And then the final one, Protective Solace, which is a bubble that is your energy draining thing. It isn't like something you activate and it like happens only for 2 seconds. It's your there's a specific name for it. It's like, I forgot the name, but it's a skill that is activated, and then you can deactivate it whenever you want. But basically all the skill does is reflect. No, it doesn't reflect. It destroys enemy projectiles. If it were to reflect, That'd be even more useful. But it will destroy enemy projectiles, so if you are in a ranged situation where you have to be blocking a lot of ranged attacks, just pop this up, move the tablet, and when, good thing to note is that you can have this up and still move it. It won't cancel the effect, which makes it even more useful. And it does drain the energy a lot faster if you keep the bubble up and move it, so keep that in mind as well. And, I forgot to mention, just the passive tablet itself, even if it's just standing here, like I'm not even doing anything at all, it will heal people in a small radius. Not for too much. It only heals them for about 400, but it's every 3 seconds, so it's nice to have. It's just like a small little heal. It's like, here, like the tablet's like, here you go, I'll give you a little extra bandage. But the elite skill is it's an amazing skill to have. So one of the most powerful ones, and I sometimes forget to use it. It's a knockback, and it creates 5 healing fragments, which are the little things that you've been seeing whenever I use it. But because I have that trait, I will be creating 6. And so you basically just explode the tablet, and it knocks you back, and it creates these little things that you can run around and pick up to heal. Because I'm at full health, it doesn't heal me. But the good thing about it is, as soon as you use your elite skill, you can immediately summon the tablet again, which makes it so that if you use the elite skill, the Ventari legend isn't useless. And I think that when I first heard about this skill, I was very scared that it would be where, like, if you use the elite skill, you can't have the tablet up. But the tablet will always be up if you are mindful and you actually activate it. And it being an activation skill and having to actually be mindful of where it is can sometimes be hard. It is a bit skill oriented and a bit more challenging to use, but very, very rewarding if you can pull it off correctly. And then the staff skills, auto attack. The 3rd hit will summon fragments or little energy orbs that will heal. Your 2nd skill is a punishing sweep, which will do damage and apply weakness. But if that person is also using a skill while you hit them, you will get a chain skill called Debilitating Slam, which means you will do a larger chunk of damage and daze the target. Actually, it dazes up to 3 targets in a small radius. That's nice. And then your 3rd skill is Warding Rift. I'm just going to explode the tablet so it doesn't get too distracting. 3rd skill is Warding Rift, which you will spin your staff in a little circle and just destroying, yeah, it destroys projectiles. Okay, good. Just wanted to get that right. But it will blind the enemy who sent those projectiles, so it's another blind. And then you have your Renewing Wave, which is a small AoE heal, much like the Guardian Staff for Empowering Might. I think that's the skill. But it's a small AoE heal, which will remove conditions, and it affects 5 people. Has a fairly long cooldown, long-ish. Sometimes I forget that's even up, because I'm already like, I'm in the midst of things and I sometimes forget. But it has 15-second cooldown, so keep that in mind. And then Surge of Mists, which just charges you forward and then it will knock people back. And it also is an evade, so you won't deal any, or you won't be, if someone does attack you, you won't take any damage while using this skill. Okay, so we've covered the Staff and Ventari's tablet. Staff and Ventari's tablet are great to use in conjunction with, because they're just, Staff is healing, Ventari's healing. It's just logic. Okay, oh wait, whoops. Moving on to the Sword and Shield and to the legendary Dragon Stance, Glint, my baby. Excuse me. And okay, so we'll start with the utilities. All these are facets, which are, they're not sigils. They kind of remind me of sigils where they have a passive effect and an active effect. But you actually have to keep the effect up, and it will slowly start draining your energy. But having one of these up will only take 1 pip away. If you have like a couple of them up, see, it just took 2 more away. And if I have a 3rd one up, there's only 1 more left, and if I do it again, it'll start draining. So you can have multiple up. Some of these facets do cost more energy than others, so do be careful. Like the elite skill takes up a lot of energy to keep the passive active. So I don't typically have Facet of Chaos, the passive effect, up too long. I usually use it for the actual activation skill. But the first one, Facet of Light, will pulse regen to everyone, and the active is Infused Light, which is similar to the trait where, or the trait in the Herald line, where you will convert all incoming damage into healing. And if you can actually like get this off without other enemies noticing, you're going to be getting a lot of healing. Like, I've gone from like 0 health to like full health in like 5 seconds. I'm like, thank you so much. Thank you for your patronage.
This world of bleeding.
That's what it looks like. Facet of Darkness. It's a facet that will pulse fury to everybody. But the actual activation is really, really cool if you're up against like a team of thieves and you want to know if they're stealth, or even a mesmer, because mesmers have easy access to stealth, which is kind of, well, I mean, I think thief and mesmer are allowed to have stealth. Yeah, it suits them. So Facet of Darkness, you will use a skill. Oh my god, water pipes. Wow, sorry about that. So Gaze of Darkness, you activate it, which will reveal everyone in an area and blind them. And then you have Facet of the Elements, which will give everyone swiftness. This is great to use in the beginning of a match, just to give everyone swiftness so they can charge in faster. And the activation is a really, really good skill to use. I use it usually when I'm engaging on a point and there's another person there. You will do a decent amount of damage and do burning, chill, and weakness to them. And it looks like this. It's a really cool spell effect. It's like glint breathing down on the enemy. Hey, Glint BB. I have your child. I wonder if you could, like, it'd be awesome. I'm going off on a bit of a tangent right now, but it'd be awesome if you could, like, talk to Glint about Glint's child. No spoilers, but that'd be great. And then Facet of Strength, which pulses might to everybody, and the activation will do a decent amount of damage and apply vulnerability. Looks like this. Glint's Claws, and then Facet of Chaos grants protection, and then you will summon Glint herself to smash everyone and knock them back. And then your F2 ability, which is unique, or only unique, if you have the Herald trait line. If you don't equip the Herald trait line, you won't see this. Facet of Nature. You will place a Facet of Nature on yourself and grant it to nearby allies, which basically means that your boon duration is increased by 50%. And then if you activate it, you will grant Fury, Might, Regen, Protection, and Swiftness to everybody for a decent amount of time. So this is actually really great to pop in the beginning of a fight, just to make sure everyone's stable and can have a bit of an advantage. So, oh yeah, the actual weapons. I forgot to mention those. I thought I was done. First, basic auto attack, very similar to others. Damage, vulnerability, rift slash foes, creating a rift on them that explodes for additional damage after a short delay. I never really noticed rift slash until reading it, but it's quite interesting. Small radius, but it's a bit of an AoE skill. And then precision strikes. Really good, not AoE damage, but really good single target damage if you can get the projectiles to hit one person. It'll do a lot more damage that way. But the chill is also really nice, so it's good. And then your Unrelenting Assault. This is the granddaddy of like all the Revenant skills. I think it's like one of the most flashy skills, because you like merge into the mists and just like stab everyone around you. And it's a spectacle, I would say. And you get Might, and it has a decently high amount of damage, especially if you do it on one target. It's still good AoE damage, but it's really, really useful for the evade. If you're in a sticky situation and you need an easy way out, just pop this and you should be good. And then your shield skills, Envoy of Exuberance. It's like you just send out a ball of healing energy. It'll heal everyone on the impact and grant them protection, and then it will return to you in a line. That's what it looks like. Has a decently long range. That's what it looks like. And then crystalline, no, it's just crystal hibernation, which you will create a shield around you, a little bubble. You will be stationary, so you can't move. It locks you in place. And then if you block any attacks, it will regen health. It's very similar to the infused light, but it doesn't do as much healing. It's like a minor version of that. So that is that. We're gonna pop into Ventari because I love Ventari. Hopefully this explanation wasn't super boring, but more just thorough and educational. And if you didn't know anything, hopefully you learned something. But now we shall switch to some gameplay, and I will see you on that side. So, yay for editing and transitions! Welcome back, everyone, to the gameplay side of this build video. And as usual, I don't have a script, so I'm going to be e-sportsing my way through this video and just commenting on what I think I remember about this match. And to tell you right now, what I was thinking is, oh great, another Dragon Hunter. I've been seeing so many Dragon Hunters in PvP, but then again, I main a Dragon Hunter, so it's like, I can't really say anything bad, because that'd just be hypocritical. But I finally realized how annoying I am when I'm playing Dragon Hunter and I'm just going up against someone. But to just start things off, I'm doing absolutely horribly. Don't worry, it's gonna change. Spoiler alert, it gets better. But I don't know what happened, but like right off the bat, I really thought my team was going to charge in with me, which you should never assume that your team is gonna come in with you. You need to assume that they're gonna leave you to die. But thankfully, or sadly, I hadn't thought that far, so I was left to a sad fate of dying. And I think I die soon again. I know, quality content, guys. But right here, I've decided to go back into Glint, and I switched to Sword Shield. Excuse me. But I usually switch Sword Shield whenever I go into Glint. I don't typically use Sword Shield Ventari. I switch over to Staff for that because there's not a lot of, what's the word I'm looking for? They don't really combine well together. And as you can see here, I go down again. So I do end up going down fairly often. Not often, I think I only went down like 2 times this match. At first, at this point, I thought that we were just gonna lose because things were going so terribly, and I had to like kind of remind myself, and I will remind you guys right now, that whenever things go bad, like early game, you can always change it around. You can always kick yourself in the butt, get your head in the game, which I've been having to do as of late because I have not been PvPing as much as I would like. I made it to Emerald, so I'm in Emerald. I would need to get to Ruby. No, I'm in Sapphire. Wait. No, yeah, I'm in Sapphire. I'm in Sapphire. I need to get to Ruby. I got those mixed up. I apologize. But as you can see here, I go into Ventari's tablet because I am going to go. I predict that my entire team will be going to the Bell.
The bazaar is yours.
And I wanted to get ready. This is where I really wanted to show off Ventari's tablet. As you can see here, I'm being mindful of where it is, trying to position it near my allies. As you can see here, I popped the Solace ability where it's the bubble. And on certain occasions, I will forget to deactivate the skill, which will really just drain your energy. So be very careful of that ability. Because there's so many effects going on screen, it's sometimes difficult to see it, but I usually catch myself, and it should really only be up for like 3 seconds before I go, oh wait, that's up and it shouldn't be up. So right there, bit of a team fight, not too vigorous, but that was just a little taste of the Ventari tablet. I don't like being alone, especially when I'm playing support characters, and especially when I'm recording, but I didn't see anybody else, and I just really wanted to get this point. So as you can see here, you're getting some action with Glint and my Sword and Shield expertise. Just kidding. Thankfully, I have some teammates come up behind me, who's just gonna support me, and I decided to go into Crucible Hibernation here, to get some extra sustain to make sure that I do survive, because I'm going to switch over to Ventari soon. And I'm in this match, switch over to Ventari here. In this match, I really grounded myself in my support ideology that I was going to try to live and stay and not draw too much attention to myself, but You can't really do that with Staff Ventari combination because Staff is a close ranged weapon. You will always be in the thick of things. And when I typically play a support role, I tend to prefer to stay in the back where I'm not getting attacked. So Ventari and the Staff, you really do have to know how to not draw attention to yourself, but still get close. And it's really, really tough. But it can be done, and I think I need a little bit more practice, but with anything you need practice to really master it. But right here, get into a little bit of a skirmish, and I'm really, really moving the tablet around near my allies because I use the 7th skill quite often, which is the largest heal. I try to get it where the tablet will pass through them, but that is easier said than done because you can't really predict the movements of friendly players because it's another human behind that character, and you can't really figure out their patterns. You can always predict, and sometimes you'll get lucky, but in most situations you really rely on the Ventari natural harmony skill, so AoE abilities, not necessarily line of sight abilities. Here, switch over to Sword, Shield, and Glint again, just for some more damage. I'm getting a little bit more comfortable with Glint too. In the beginning, I thought her facet mechanic was very confusing. With most things, you become accustomed to them. And I actually I managed to like take a glance at the scoreboard, and I legitimately thought I was losing. But no, we were actually winning. And as you might have noticed there, I noticed there was a ranger firing some arrows, so I decided to get my Ventari's tablet out and put up the Solace bubble. And as soon as I did that, he actually switched to Greatsword because it was kind of useless. It was fairly useless, but it's nice to illustrate and show those moments where you really need to pay attention to the projectiles and what your enemy is using as a weapon and what their tactics are. I knew there was a dragon hunter, so I popped the bubble again, as you saw, just to make sure I can reduce a couple hits so we can get that edge. Even if I save like 1 health on someone, that 1 health can be crucial. And right now I'm really focused on surviving. I was very surprised that I'm still alive because I thought I was just gonna absolutely get bursted by this thief, but I was really focusing on keeping the ranger alive, so I was just moving the tablet and just trying to get as much healing as possible. As you can see here, I felt a little bit more pressure, so I popped into Glint just to try to stop that. And we end up getting them down, and we ended up coming to a win here. We got 3 of the nodes. And we're getting a bunch of kills. And you can see here, pop it back over to Ventari. I usually don't stay in Glint. If I go to Glint, I will immediately pop back to Ventari because that is what the build is about. And we end up winning here. So thank you guys so much for watching. We won. I was very happy about this win, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like the video if you liked it, comment down below, and subscribe for more content on Go Wars 2. I'm having so much fun with Ventari, and I hope you guys like this. And yeah, I will see you in the next video. Bye.